What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to the Sports Sidebar Podcast. You're tuned in with your boy Rich, and I'm here with my buddies Tom and JD, and we're about to get this thing started. Let's go! All right, ladies and gentlemen. We got a brand new episode for everybody. How's everybody doing tonight?
Doing good, Rich. How you doing?
Doing fantastic, man. So a little hurt that the Giants lost, but I didn't really think they were going to get this far past the Eagles. So overall, it's a great season.
Yeah, I was going to say it's a step in the right direction, right? You went from a terrible team last year, terrible record, 3-14, 4-13, something like that. So a playoff team, and I think and one that has showed some promise. Good coach. I got the team playing well. I got some good young pieces. I think the big question will just be Daniel Jones moving forward.
Oh yeah, let's get right into it, man. We got the NFL wrap up another playoff week. Not as good as last week, but definitely some interesting games. We got the Chiefs. They beat up on the Jags. Jags wasn't just ready, man. They weren't ready for that playoff push.
Yeah, I felt like this was prime for them to take the opportunity. I mean, Mahomes gets hurt. You got Henny in, for a series. He puts a 98-yard TD drive on you, and then just the rest of the game. I mean, Mahomes was clearly injured, and I felt like they didn't do anything to speed him up to put some pressure on him. I felt like he didn't face any pressure in the second half when he came back in. And then, allowing Kelsey to, catch 14 balls and 2 touchdowns. It was just poor coaching, poor game plan. And like I said, I still think the Jags had a chance there. I mean, two turnovers in the fourth quarter when they were down a touchdown.
Yeah.
So I think they're close. Obviously, I think Doug Peterson's jolted them a little bit. And Trevor Lawrence, obviously, the back half of the season really picked up his play. And they got some nice pieces they could probably use a little bit more. But, I like the direction they're heading in.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because, they're going to have Calvin Ridley next year. So that's going to give them another receiver. And then they just got to beef up that defense. So.
Yeah, I think that's where they need some help is on the defensive side of the ball. I think their offense, again, was pretty good. But yeah, if they can do that, they probably pick to win at least win the AFC South again next year.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how it all plays out. But definitely looking forward to it.
Sure.
And then on the other games, AFC side, we got the Bengals. They beat up on the Bills. I kind of didn't think it was gonna be as of a lopsided game. I felt like we talked about it off air that the Bengals were playing on the green screen because it did not look like that snow affected them at all, man.
Yeah, it was kind of funny. I mean, before the game, Zach Taylor, Jamar Chase, and Joe Burrow all said they've never played in the snow before, and they, like I said, they didn't skip a beat. I don't know how much of that was to do with, the way they were playing, but I just felt like those receivers were wide open. And
Yeah.
the Buffalo defense did just an awful job of containing them. And to be honest, like down the back half of the season there and into the playoffs, Buffalo's defense really struggled. So yeah, couple that with Josh Allen having a rough game and it's another Bills playoff exit.
Oh yeah, definitely. I felt like the fact that Von Miller wasn't there hurt them a lot. It seemed like they didn't have any pass rush. They didn't put any pressure on Burrow. And then the Bengals offensive line and defensive line pretty much ran that game. So they're going to have to go back to the drawing board as far as the Bills and beef up that interior on that defense.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then on the other side, NFC side, we had the Eagles. They beat up on the Giants. Wasn't too much here. We couldn't really get too fancy. They know what we do. We knew what they do, but they just went out there and they did it better. So ultimately, like I said, it was definitely a good season. The Giants are gonna have a lot to do and to decide on this offseason if they expect to try to get back into the playoffs. So
Yeah, they got some work to do, but on the other side, I did feel like the Eagles came out and played with some fire, and I felt like they probably had a lot more to lose, obviously, than the Giants, and people were already kind of questioning whether they were a worthy 1 seed and all this, and I'll tell you what, they came out and looked like the best team in the league, the best team left, I would say, for most of that game, running the ball, throwing it, Hurts in the pocket, Hurts out of the pocket. Obviously, Sanders, Gainwell, and Scott, putting up a couple hundred yards rushing, and the defense, obviously, shutting down Saquon and company.
what's
So,
crazy what's crazy was when they were like announcing, like, people making tackles and making plays. I'm like, how the hell they get all these people on their defense, man?
Yeah, it's kind of like the Tampa Bay team from a few years ago. You don't realize that all these guys are on this team until, yeah, like you said, they start ripping off names, and you're just like, huh, that's where he was.
Yeah, I was like, he's here. What?
Yeah, that and like we talked about heading into the playoffs, I feel like Philly really kind of benefited from that bye and getting guys healthy. They had a couple kind of big injuries down the stretch that they were able to, with the lead that they had in the division, and that bye week, were able to get these guys back.
Oh yeah, they were definitely well rested. I mean, you could see it. They were just out there flying.
Yeah.
Everybody was fresh. Everybody was out there making plays that needed to make plays. Your boy Bradbury got one over on us for letting him go.
I almost texted you that one, see if that one hurt a little bit.
Oh yeah, I definitely thought I was like, oh man, he needs to be on our team, man. But he definitely was coming out to playing against his former team that let him go while he was a Pro Bowler, which was, I mean, it was a cap casualty, but I mean, there's nothing you can do about it, man. Definitely, like I said, the Giants have a lot to do this offseason. First they got to decide, on bringing back Danny Dimes and Saquon, and then they got to go out there and get some receivers. Not much in the receiver market outside of free agency. They might have to make the trade for Hopkins and then try to sign Odell. That's the only thing I could think of they could do, man. Then they got to work on that offensive line, and we got to get a lot of that secondary fixed. Some guys that probably going to be some free agents, but might not hit the market. They got those safeties in Cincinnati, but I don't think any of them will hit the market. Maybe one due to cap issues. And then not many top corners either. Just some okay guys. So hopefully,
typically teams aren't letting corners go. They're few and far between.
Yeah, when I look at the corner market, it's pretty much a few older guys, but nobody that stand out where you're like, I got to pick them up. But like I said, it's gonna be interesting to see, what they decide to do this offseason.
Yep. They got some work to do, that's for sure.
Then we got the other NFC game. We had the Cowboys and the 49ers. 49ers defense showed up. Cowboys defense showed up, but they couldn't get enough stops. But ultimately, it was a close game. I mean, the Cowboys offense just couldn't deliver, man. I think they were hurt pretty bad when Tony Pollard went out.
Yeah, I think that really changes their offense. I mean, I think he's just a more dynamic player. Obviously, Zeke is still good, but he's a different kind of player. He's a little more powerful, down your throat kind of guy, and Pollard's more dynamic and explosive, and can catch the ball out of the backfield and can do a lot of things. So yeah, when he went down, I think it just changes the way that they want to run their offense.
Felt like it was over. I mean, it was over for the man on parlay after he went down. Dak's got to play better as a quarterback. Can't have those turnovers.
Yep.
And then those receivers, you got to pay attention to your feet, man, because you can't catch the ball and pretty much do 1 foot in and 1 foot out, man. Especially when you need a first down.
So definitely a big whiff by Schultz on that last drive. Being pushed backwards out of bounds. Obviously, if you're all you need to do there is fight forward or dive forward a little bit, you get a timeout, or you get the ball out of bounds. And then on the other one, plenty of time to get his second foot down. I was kind of casual about it and cost him another 15 yards. So I think that'll. I mean, it's just careless play, and coaching and what have you. So I don't know. I don't know if Dak brings the ball all the way down to score there, anyways. But that obviously didn't kept them from at least throwing a decent Hail Mary.
Yeah, especially that last play. I don't know what the hell that play was when Zeke snapped the ball. I don't know what they were doing, man.
So I would have gotten it if they had put like all the fast guys in, right? And like, because it doesn't matter at that point if they're eligible or ineligible. All Dak needs to do is really just throw a quick forward pass, and then you can start the train there. But you had 4 linemen still on the field sitting on the outside. Why not just have one of those guys snap it? And then I don't know, it's kind of stupid, but whatever.
Yeah, but remember I told you I felt like they were trying to do like some trick play where Zeke will snap the ball and then run upfield and then be eligible. Or
no, he wouldn't have been they had to cross the line of scrimmage first for him to be eligible. So they would have had to done a quick forward pass past the line of scrimmage. Then he would have been fine to run upfield.
Yeah, but that's saying I think they were trying to do some kind of trick play or something where he's involved and they get him the ball and he pretty much runs behind those blockers. They got a lot to figure out as well on that offensive side of the ball. They got to figure out some things with that O line, and then I think they're gonna have to go get another receiver, and then they're gonna have to decide on which players they're gonna keep and re-sign because Tony Pollard's a free agent, and then they got some other guys.
Gallup's a free agent, I think too.
Yep. So
Pollard and Gallup are free agents. Zeke, I think, in his last guaranteed year, I think he can be cut for little to nothing. They want to. So yeah, you're right. They gotta figure it out.
Yeah, I heard he's willing to resign too, but to remain a Cowboy. But we'll have to wait and see what happens.
Yep.
Because that'd be crazy if Pollard resigns somebody else and they still cut Zeke, and then now they ain't got no running backs. But I mean, people love to play for the Cowboys, so I won't be surprised if they try to swing somebody and get somebody over there.
Yeah, and I think this is going to be a big season for Dak. I mean, he's shown they can put together some decent regular seasons, and it felt like he kind of got over the hump a little bit on that, first game against Tampa Bay, but then he kind of reverted to old playoffs Dak in that game against San Fran. And I give San Fran a little credit. I mean, they were the best ranked defense all year, so.
Oh yeah, but that's it. Their defense played good. Your boy Brock Purdy struggled a little bit, but then he pulled it together. He had about five good plays that helped him move the ball. We expected a little slugfest, between the defenses, and then the game kind of came down to how it looked last year, where Cowboys need to get upfield, to either score or try to win the game, but the Cowboys did Cowboy stuff. So
exactly.
The next week we're gonna have the Bengals versus the Chiefs, as the great Joe Burrow said. Make sure y'all get those refunds out there for the people that bought tickets to the Bills Chiefs game out in Atlanta.
I'm really angry about this whole getting screwed over by the league thing, huh?
Yeah, I think they were more pissed about it that the NFL was boosting the Chiefs versus Bills in the Atlanta game for the neutral field game, and not thinking that the Bengals had any chance to win. So.
Yeah, no, I think they felt like they had been wronged a little bit by the league by they kind of conceded that game. Who knows what would have happened in that Monday night game, but being having to go to Buffalo and then first the whole coin flip thing and then having to go to Buffalo, and I think they had a little chip on their shoulder, and honestly this weekend I think did I see they were 6-point underdogs or something?
No, it changed. I think they're like a 2. I think they're a favorite now, like by 2 or 3 points.
So that opened it at +6 for the Bengals. They are, which I felt like that seemed like a ridiculous line. But yeah, I mean, Burrow's 3-0 against KC. He's they won in KC last year to go to the Super Bowl.
Yep.
I'm not putting anything past this team. I mean, I think Joe Burrow's he's almost like earning that Tom Brady type of respect in the playoffs. He gets it done. It's not always the prettiest thing.
Yep, but he wins.
But he wins.
Yep. So I mean, we're gonna have to wait and see if it's gonna be a shootout or if it's gonna be a lopsided game, kind of how it was against the Bills. But I'm definitely looking forward to it. I mean, that means Burrow will be like 5-1 in the playoffs, some crazy number. When did Patrick win his first one? How old was he when he won his first one? 20.
It was 2019.
6, right?
So I think he was 23. So he won the first one 4 years ago. He was 23.
Burrow beat him to it on the age, but nope. So, but that's the thing. I think if Cincinnati wins it all, I think they have a better chance of repeating than the Chiefs.
I mean, their team is they're set up pretty well, especially if obviously the guys on their O line that are hurt can come back.
Yeah, I think the only free agents really are the two safeties, Bell and I think everybody else is pretty much locked up. So I mean, they probably won't really have to worry until like next year. I think that's when it's time for Burrow to re-up, and then get to worry about Chase the following year.
Oh yeah.
So it's gonna be interesting to see, man. Between these three quarterbacks.
Good problem to have.
Oh yeah, definitely. And then on the NFC side, we're gonna have the 49ers and the Eagles. Looking forward to this game, man. I'm not gonna lie, I think the Eagles are gonna pull it out just because I feel like they have more firepower on both sides. But ultimately, I mean, if the 49ers defense can cause havoc, it's gonna be a long day for the Eagles.
Yep. Yeah, I think this could either be a ton of points in this game or it could be low scoring. I don't know which way it's gonna go. I think you got two pretty good defenses, so my guess is going to be more of that low scoring type game. But yeah, this could be a slugfest down in Philadelphia.
It's going to be whoever can control the time of possession and not have any turnover, have the least amount of turnovers.
Right.
We saw what the Eagles did against the Giants. I mean, they pretty much had double time of possession than the Giants. They're running all over the Giants, so I wouldn't be surprised if they're doing that with. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see between these two teams.
Yeah, I think this could be a good game, though. I mean, they're both good games.
Yeah, of the teams left, which two teams would you think makes for a better Super Bowl?
Make for a better Super Bowl?
Yeah, like which two teams would you want to see in the Super Bowl?
I mean, I think you can go either way. In the AFC, I think both teams are fairly similar. Probably I'd like to see a KC Philly Super Bowl. I think that'd be fun. I do think it's going to be a Cincinnati San Fran Super Bowl, though. Rematch of, I think it was the 88, 89, something like that, Super Bowl.
I wouldn't mind seeing this Cincinnati versus the Eagles just to see Hurts play Burrow again.
Yeah.
That Alabama versus LSU ties going at it. We're gonna have a lot of good football left with these last two games.
Yeah, I think so. I think the only questionable piece of these last four teams is really Brock Purdy. I mean, he's been good, but he's not. I think these other three guys are on a much different level than him. Obviously, I mean, he's a rookie. He's played 10 games, so.
There's never been a rookie to win it all, right?
Rahul.
Oh yeah, but I mean, Brock Purdy's Mr. Irrelevant too, so
I know.
That'll be a greater story. So
yeah, it would be a great story. Getting there. I think obviously the rest of that team is loaded up, but will the pressure get to him on Sunday? It's a big game for a rookie for sure.
But definitely looking forward to checking these games out on Sunday.
Yeah, man. Only 3 games left, so we got to enjoy them.
Yeah, but then we got
season goes quick.
We got NFL free agency and we got mock drafts, man.
That's where the Jets live.
I mean, in other news, I mean, because of the offseason, we're gonna have the big decisions as far as new head coaches. I saw the Texans were looking at either the Broncos defensive coordinator or the Giants offensive coordinator, which I thought was kind of odd. I feel like it was a lot of better. Yeah, I felt like there was a lot of better candidates out there, but
yeah, you never know what they're looking for, though, right? I mean, Kafka was a smart kid from Northwestern, quarterback. Obviously, he was more of a backup in the league for a few years, and it's tough. It's tough, right? I mean, you're always trying to find that next guy, right? Now that you have like a McDermott or a Shanahan or something like that, they're always trying to find the next young stud head coach. And at least I feel like in the NFL, these guys take chances, and they're not just retreading. Now that remember, I don't know, it was 4 or 5 years ago. It just felt like
same coaches, yeah.
Same coaches over and over again. At least it seems like the league is changing a little bit, and some of these guys are getting chances.
Oh
You know,
yeah,
Ben Johnson in Detroit. He's like the hot name.
D'Amico Ryan.
D'Amico Ryans. He's he's probably gonna get a job here if not this year, next year. You know, it's just good to see these guys getting a chance and not just, you know, I saw Arizona's interview with Dan Quinn. And I'm just like, what are we doing here? Like, the guy's a great coordinator. He got that. You know, outside of one season in Atlanta, he was an awful coach.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess you got to give him a second chance, but man, I'd be looking for the next Kyle Shanahan if I were.
I mean, you might as well just go to the Washington the Commanders coaching tree. That's what they had all those freaking coaches on that damn staff as like assistants and stuff.
Oh, it's
all NFL coaches, which is crazy.
Yeah, crazy. Yeah, Shanahan, McVay, Zach Taylor. Matt LaFleur.
Yeah.
Mike McDaniel was on that staff, I think, too.
Yeah, like what the hell? Yeah, y'all missed out on all these coaches. Yeah, had all these coaches in house. Y'all didn't hire none of them. Just let them all go.
Yep.
But hey, man, no, they lost everything, man.
Oh man.
And then outside of that, I mean, we're still gonna have the decisions in free agency for Aaron Rodgers, you know, Lamar Jackson. We'll see where Tom Brady goes, and if where your boy Carr gets traded to. So it's gonna be a lot of quarterback swapping as well in the offseason, which I think is gonna have a huge impact come next season.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think Carr will be the big piece that moves. Obviously Brady. My guess is if he comes back, it's going to be Las Vegas, Miami, or San Francisco. You know, I hear talk of him reuniting with Bill O'Brien and Belichick. I think that's pretty far fetched, and you know, I guess it could happen, but I don't think that team's set up to go to with the pieces that he would want. Whereas I think the other three are pretty close. I mean, outside of Las Vegas, we had the ties with Josh McDaniels. They got some good offensive players there with Devontae, Darren Waller, Renfro, Josh Jacobs, etc. So.
Yeah, so you got some pieces there, but ultimately, I think where he goes, a lot of people are going to go follow to try to win a ring. So. We've seen that happen in Tampa. I wouldn't be surprised, or where else he goes, they're going to try to do it as well. So then we got the NFL mock drafts coming out. I mean, we got the Bears with the first pick. I mean, they haven't picked Will Anderson. That's the top linebacker out from Alabama. Then the Texans with the second pick, getting your boy Young. It's a quarterback, a little undersized, but I mean, very accurate. Then we got the Cardinals. They're getting your boy Jalen Carter from Georgia. I know you love him. And then we got the Colts getting a quarterback, C.J. Stroud from Ohio State. And then the Seahawks with the fifth pick getting the defensive end from Clemson, Miles Murphy. The Lions going with the defensive tackle from Clemson, Brian Brees. I don't like that pick though. Then the Raiders getting the offensive tackle from Northwestern. They might need a quarterback, but we got to wait and see. And then Atlanta getting the linebacker from Texas Tech, Tyree Wilson. They need everything over there. So I'm not sure what they're gonna do over there. Then they got your Panthers, man. They getting your boy Will Levis. Levis, from Kentucky. Big, probably the biggest quarterback in the draft. So. That's going to be a very interesting one. Then we got the Eagles at 10 getting a freaking top corner, Keely Ringo. That's ridiculous, man. Then we had your Jets at 13 and the Giants at, I think we're at 22 or something like that. I forget what it was.
25.
5? Yeah, so definitely could see us going wide receiver. I don't know what you guys would probably go offensive line.
Offensive line, most likely, yeah.
Try to beef up that O-line to secure that run game with ball coming back and stuff.
Yep. Can't wait till the season ends. I can go full mock draft.
Oh, yeah. Then we're going to have the combine soon, so we get to see the people run ridiculous 40s that shouldn't be running freaking ridiculous 40 time. And then eventually we're going to see somebody get drafted number 1 that should have not got drafted with number 1. But either way, it's going to be very interesting to see, man. Then on to the NBA. Wasn't too much here. Your boy Shannon Sharpe was out there trying to get in the fights against some of the Grizzly players. I thought it was funny, man.
Yeah, it was, and I heard a pretty good take on the radio the other day, and they were just like, because Shannon Sharpe, had been friends with this radio show for a while, and they had him on a couple times, and he was great. I mean, I've heard some of the old interviews, and he's been awesome. But their theory is that he's just been like in these like roles now for what, a couple years, where he's just like fighting, debating people on TV every single day, and it's almost like they feel like it's like changed his personality, so that he's just like super combative about everything now. And obviously, he got into it with Dylan Brooks, and then T Morant came over, and I mean, but I guess good on Sharp for coming out and apologizing, because as Shannon Sharpe, you can't be doing that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, just because you're pretty much the face of one of the top AM shows, morning sports shows, which was the reason why he apologized.
Yeah.
He said he got to do better, but ultimately, I think he was ready to fight, man. I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't be surprised if it got to that, he wasn't gonna throw it out.
Freaking idiot LeBron, like saying that Shannon Sharpe was in the right, backing him up.
Well, I mean, anybody that supports you got to back him up, especially if he's going out the other team.
How about just don't say anything, LeBron? That works too. Just be like, yeah, that was kind of a like a crazy situation or something. That's all you gotta say. But he's like,
but he's got to defend his guys. So I mean, you can't be mad at him for doing that, regardless
for defending
of
Shannon Sharpe.
Yeah, I mean, for defending his guys, whether he's wrong or right.
I don't mind him defending his teammates. I mean, he doesn't have to defend Shannon Sharpe. He could have just sidestepped it. If it's a teammate thing, absolutely. Even if your teammate's wrong, you got to back him up. That's number one rule. But Sharpe's not his teammate. Like, get out of here with that.
He's Team LeBron, man.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Everybody that's Team LeBron, he's gonna go to war with, man. But I mean, it's definitely it was definitely interesting. It made the game more interesting. Looking forward to seeing them at some other games. I'm sure some people are going to try to poke the bear and see what's going on. So, and then speaking of the Lakers, man, they went ahead and made a trade. They pretty much just got the same players that were on the Wizards and just put them on the Lakers. Like,
I don't know what they're doing.
They didn't address any of their shooting issues, their defensive issues. I mean, they still got Westbrook on the roster. Still got hobbled Anthony Davis. I mean, I don't know, man. I feel like if you're gonna make a trade, man, you might as well go big. Try to get some players so you can try to win. Maybe they thought that could help them win, but I mean, we're gonna have to wait and see what happens, man.
Yeah, I don't know what they're trying to do. To me, that's like they're trying to have an Anthony Davis backup in there that can do some of the same stuff, and I think Hachimura can do 10% of what Anthony Davis can do, and they're just. I read that trade and I was like, it makes no sense, and like I know Kendrick Nunn hasn't been as good as they, maybe he was in Miami, and maybe disappointing, but I don't know. Kyle Kuzma left Los Angeles and he's tearing it up with the Wizards, so I don't know. Maybe it's an LA thing.
Yeah, man, I don't know what it is, man, but I mean, we have to wait and see if those guys come out and stink it up or if they make any kind of impact on the team. But they kind of all play the same position. So, I mean,
I know.
How are these guys going to have time to get on the court when you're playing behind LeBron? But I don't know. Maybe they moving LeBron to more of a point guard, or they're trying to go with a bigger lineup. I don't know what they're trying to do over there, though.
No, I don't either.
And then outside of that, I mean, nothing else really going on. I mean, the Suns, they dropped to the 12th in the West. I don't think they got it no more, man. I told you, I think that window's closed, man.
They need Booker back.
I mean, you can't be that bad without Booker, man.
I think they are. I do. I think they are. I think Chris Paul is obviously aging a bit here, and he can't carry the team like he once could. Ayton, I just don't think is as good as everyone wants him to be, and
I can't believe they re-signed him after all that trash talking, and they freaking benched him, and they still went ahead and re-signed him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they had a ton of options.
I think you should have traded him, man. I mean,
they can trade him. They can trade him now.
Yeah, but I feel like they should have traded him then, because you could have got so much more at that time. He was such a commodity. But and then outside of that, I mean, we got your Celtics beating up on the Miami Heat right now. Hopefully, they can hold off and help me hit this parlay. Even though it got reduced because freaking Jimmy Butler's not playing tonight.
No.
And then that's it. There's not really much else in the NBA.
No, it's been quiet here, getting close to the All-Star game. Yeah, hopefully we'll get those lineups out soon. Quiet NBA stretch.
And on to PGA, your boy John Rahm took first place, took it down. It was it 8 million? You won?
No, that was the purse. I think he won. He took home like two, something like two.
Oh, two? Oh, okay.
Yeah, the big first big tournament's the Waste Management in Phoenix, the first elevated tournament, I should say, outside of the Century. But yeah, he pulled down 1.4 million.
Oh, okay. So not a bad weekend.
No, not playing in La Quinta, of course. You get that nice Southern California weather. Make a little cash on the side there.
Yep.
But yeah, you called that one. I was a little upset you didn't throw the bet on Rahm after last week's podcast.
Yeah, man. I just got caught up in stuff, and then man, and I was doing it too. I was like in the middle of it, and then I just forgot, man. I never went back to it.
You get good odds on those when you pick the winner outright in those golf tournaments. I bet Rahm was somewhere like probably plus 1,000 or something like that.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like if you do like a $5, you win like 20,
Yeah,
30
exactly.
bucks.
Yeah.
Depends on who it is. So those are good quick ones.
Yep. So he took it down, obviously played well all weekend. I think the story of the weekend was Davis Thompson, young kid, had 5 eagles, I think, in the first 2 rounds, something crazy like that. And actually had a putt on 17 to tie it, and it lipped out. But he played well, and then but Rahm was the guy. And now they head off to staying in Southern California. We got the American Express this weekend. I believe that's at Torrey Pines down in La Jolla. I've been there. It's a beautiful course right on the La Jolla hills there. Looks right out into the Pacific Ocean. Sits up a couple hundred feet on the cliffs there. One of the cooler venues they get to play. And then you get the what are those like wind sailor guys that have like those mini I don't even know what they call them. They look almost like go-karts in the sky. They come up, I think it's like the 5th or 6th hole that they just they're just like they pop up out of the ocean and you can kind of see them. It's kind of neat. But yeah, it's always they have the 2 courses there, the north and the south. They'll play both of them through Saturday, I think, and then Sunday, maybe Saturday, Sunday they play at the south course. But yeah, it's another again I talked about this. I really like the courses they play on this West Coast swing. They're not like, I don't think that they're huge tournaments, but this one's nice. And then you got the Pro-Am at Pebble Beach, which is always a cool event.
And that's the one of the bigger ones, right?
The first big one, or the next big one now, is just the Waste Management.
Oh, okay.
Pebble Beach is just a regular, one of the regular tournaments.
Maybe I'm thinking about the name. Maybe the name just seems more bigger. Maybe it's bigger than the other events. I guess
the course is it's a big big name course. They have U.S. Opens there and all that, but they I think they have 15 or 20 elevated events. I forget the number total. But yeah, they really kick off with the Waste Management, and then you get into the Dell match play, obviously the 4 majors. So they'll start to kick in here soon, and you'll see. I think you'll see the competition ramp up a little bit.
I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what's going to happen as they get further and further along. And then that might be it for sports. Nothing else really going on.
No.
And it's that time again, ladies and gentlemen. We got another edition of JD's Bites and Brew. What you got for us?
All right, so for today we have a breaded chicken in a spicy pepper sauce.
Okay.
So, yeah, this one was first time I did this one. Was kind of interesting. So it's I don't know if you ever had chicken française.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's similar to that. So you pound the chicken thin, light flour dusting on it, salt, pepper, and then you put it in an egg bath. Then you put it into the pan, a little bit of oil. Make sure the oil gets hot. Put it in there. Cook it 4 or 5 minutes on each side until it really cooks through. Pull the chicken out, and then add a little more oil, some garlic, get the fragrance going there, and then add in some sliced cherry peppers and some white wine, and kind of let that reduce a little bit, and then actually add chicken stock. This is the difference. The Francais would have butter. This one's just chicken stock that's been mixed with a little bit of flour. Pour that all in. Let that mix together. Get it to a boil and let it simmer for a few minutes. Reduce a little bit, and then add the chicken back in. And then you can serve that over, either a pasta. We did rice, but it's a fairly easy meal, and it's again kind of on the healthier side. And then it did have some real real kick to it from those peppers, kind of hot peppers cooking in there. So but it was tasty, and I topped it with a little bit of Parmesan cheese for you, Rich.
You can't go wrong with the parm, man.
No.
I feel like it's all about the seeds of the pepper. That's what gives it the hotness.
These were pre-cut and jarred in oil, the cherry peppers. So it had some seeds, but not really like you would get from a fresh pepper. But they still, usually I feel like those jarred peppers are kind of toned down a little bit, and these give off some spice still.
Yeah, I remember one time I had I think I ordered like General Tso's chicken, and I just bit into the pepper. I could not taste or feel my tongue like the next day and a half.
Yeah.
I was like, what kind of pepper was this? And then what would you guys drink that down with?
All right, so we this week I got a ginger seltzer from It's from Green Man Brewing out of Asheville. So I actually went up to the brewery. Cool little place, kind of in the downtown area. Kind of decent outside patio, the nice view. Kind of cool place, but they have a beer or a seltzer called, I think it was the Ginger. Oh, please. The Gingers Have Soul. So it's a kind of a that YouTube video, the Gingers Have No Soul video.
Okay.
And then the ensuing South Park episode where they give all the redheads a hard time, Cartman. But anyways, called Gingers Have Soul. It's a ginger seltzer, and they add ginger juice, some fresh Thai red chilies. Clocks in at 4.5%. Again, not too shabby. But man, it was, I'll tell you what, easy to drink. I had 2 of them right away in no time. It was tasty. If you like ginger, you'd love this for sure.
Definitely have to check those out.
Yeah, it's light. It's easy to drink, and they have it on tap at quite a few places in the Asheville area. So, yeah, I'd probably give this one an 8.1. I really enjoyed it. Something I could see myself, kind of, drinking a handful of for sure. Without issue.
I hope those are not no sleepers though, because sounds like that joint is too good. You be drinking like 4 or 5, and then all of a sudden you are at like 20, then it hit you.
Yeah, it could. There was a beer called Ginger Libation that was kind of similar in that respect, but that was an 8 or 9%er. So you kind of had 2 or 3, you stood up and you were feeling it. This one I think would be a little more dangerous because, like you said, you could probably especially on a hot day, smoke down a few of these, 5 or 6, and then that number could rise quickly.
Oh man, got to pace myself with those.
Yeah, for sure.
And then that's JD's Bites and Brew, everybody. And then not too much on the BRRs this week. Still going through the typical shows. Last of Us, another good episode. Some great information on the type of monsters we're dealing with. It's pretty much like different. We get to see some different levels of the monsters. This is based off the video game. So we get to see like the second and third stage of the monsters. They mentioned the 4th stage ones. Those are the harder ones that they're going to be fighting through the series as they have like more armor and stuff on. with all that like fungus. And then I mean overall it's a good show, man. I was kind of upset that it was over. Like when it went off, I was like, "What? It's been an hour?" I was like, "What the hell?"
It does seem to fly by, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean that's how you know it's good, man, because you're like in the story, you're like, "Oh wait, how many minutes got left?" But I mean, ultimately, I hope. I don't know if they're doing like 6 or 8 episodes, but it's a good show, man. I can't really complain. I haven't played the game, but from everything I read or heard, everybody said it does a good adaptation of the game. The only thing, I hate the girl, man. I'm not gonna lie, but that's how you know they're doing a good job, man.
Oh, the kid.
Yeah, the little kid, like.
Yeah, she's a pain in
But
the ass.
but I mean that's what she's supposed to be doing.
Right.
Not making it easy, but I'm sure she'll have it'll be a growing pains as she, we go throughout the series. She becomes better at certain things and realizes it's not all about her, so to say. It's not really a game kind of series. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what happens. It's like the Mandalorian all over again when you think about it.
Kinda, yeah. He's a mercenary.
Mercenaries, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I feel like he's like a mercenary. He's like, his job is to get this girl to the well, first it was to the state house, and now it's to apparently Bill and Frank, who I'm guessing we'll meet in the next episode. You guys saw him on the preview.
Yeah.
But yeah, trying to get this girl who's been bit now multiple times and does not is immune. So we'll see. We'll see how this all plays out.
I thought that was cool how they communicated how it like went through the ground, through the fungus, like all the other funguses, and they call them. So I think that's I mean that's a whole different. Even though it's like still Walking Dead-ish, let's say, I don't want to say zombies are way more sophisticated.
They have they still kind of have a brain. They just can't see. They can hear and they can feel, but they can't see.
Yeah, so it's definitely going to be interesting, especially when these you get to see the other ones, the final form of them, because the ones where it had like the stuff like coming off their face, that's like the second form, and then the ones that are like they can't see, that's like the third form, and then the final form they kind of like have that stuff all over them, where it's like it's like armor. So
right.
Then we had Mayor of Kingstown. Did you get to see that one?
I didn't. I watched the first episode. I did not watch the second episode yet.
Oh, okay. Because second episode is getting spicier too, man.
Yeah.
Some stuff goes down. So because they're gonna try to they come up with the plan to try to create some order amongst the community. I don't want to give it away, but you could already tell this is about to get crazy in the next few episodes. Based on what happened in the second, but I like the direction they're going in. They're getting the drama going. I'm still a little upset about this guy, the guy who just walked out of jail. What is his name? He's just
Milo.
Yeah, when you see him in the second episode, you're just like, what? But I don't want to give anything away. But outside of that, everything else is great. Because I'm also feeling like he's like unnecessary. He's not really doing anything. But we're gonna have to wait and see, man.
Yeah, but apparently he wants like everyone in that town dead, right? Or he wants to kill everybody.
Yeah, but that's when you see him in the second episode, you gotta kind of get thrown off. Okay. But I mean, we got to see what he's up to, what he's plotting, because I'm sure it's gonna be something worthwhile. You can't just walk out of jail and not do anything. So, and then we got Your Honor. I mean, another good episode. A lot going on. I can't. I was mad at the kid, man. Like you can't go away to school and you drawing yourself shooting people, man. What are you doing?
Yeah, that didn't seem like a very smart thing to do, especially when you're supposed to be, on the lam there.
Yeah, the teacher's like, "Well, that really does look like you." He's like, "No." She's like, "Did you burn down the house?" "No, I escaped the house."
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how they're gonna plan on him, infiltrating the family to try to lock them up. But ultimately, I don't think he is because his grandson is there. So it's very interesting, man. There's gonna be a lot of moving parts. So I'm definitely looking forward to watching.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he obviously doesn't know he has the grandson yet, but I think we're getting there. But yeah, I think trying to see how this will all, what's all going to play out here.
Yeah, definitely, man.
We haven't seen the end of Eugene/Justin.
Which one is that, Eugene?
The kid.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think he's gonna give himself up, man. Like he's gonna make it obvious that he's him. Then he's gonna get caught. But I mean, there's a lot of little side stories as well that I mentioned to see what happens. Between the rival gangs as well, because it looks like they're up to something. And then the mayor, because they're trying to get him locked up. It's gonna be fun, man. Hopefully, I mean, they've been doing a great job with the show, so I can't complain.
Yeah. Yep.
And then I checked out Tulsa King. It's not bad, man. I'm on like episode 4 with your boy Sylvester Stallone. Trying to see what can I compare it to. There's not really much I could compare it to. It's a little bit Mayor of Kingstown-ish. Okay. I mean, minus the jail stuff. Even though the main character, just does he just did 25 years in jail. But overall, it's not a bad show, man. Right. Something you could check out when you get some time.
All right.
Then outside of that, checked out Megan. I thought it was gonna be corny as hell, but it actually wasn't, man. It was one of the most recent, well thought out, like killer movies that involve like some kind of like doll robot type of deal. It was good, man. I'm not gonna lie. Probably give it like a 7.5, somewhere in between there. It was good, man. It wasn't. I
definitely didn't think it was gonna be that good.
Yeah, it wasn't like. It wasn't corny. Where like it did have some like a few funny moments because like she sings at random times, but which is kind of like. It's like sick. It's like sick, funny, so to say. But I mean, ultimately, like there wasn't any scenes where like it was like, that was unbelievable, based off the story. I mean, the story pretty much made sense. It's like it started off kind of weird with the girl's parents, but then ultimately, as you go through the story, you see how she builds the doll. Everything made sense. As far as like the story, like how she turned and pretty much all this other stuff. Definitely, if you like thrillers and stuff, definitely check it out. Like I said, it did have a few funny moments, but ultimately it was a good movie, man. I can't lie, man.
Nice.
I'm definitely looking forward to seeing if they continue with the franchise or not. And then I think that's pretty much it. I know they announced some of the Oscar nominations. It wasn't really anything I seen that was good. I know they nominated Top Gun, but Tom Cruise didn't get nominated. And then Angela Bassett got nominated for Black Panther 2, but there's a lot of stuff I didn't really see.
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of that's been the trend. But nice to see Top Gun get a Best Picture nominee. But yeah, that I feel like I look at those lists sometimes, and it's like I most of the time like recognize at least the actor actress ones, but I hadn't seen the movie or didn't know the movie existed.
Yeah, I know the guy from that did the Elvis movie. He got nominated a bunch of times. I don't really care too much for Elvis. I'm not gonna watch that movie. No offense, but
yeah.
All the other movies didn't see things that would pique my interest, but I'm sure it's great acting or a great story, but just not my realm of tea.
Yep.
Then I think that's pretty much it, man. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Until the next time.
Until next time, Rich.
I want to thank y'all for rocking out here on the Sports Sidebar Podcast. Give y'all something to ride out on. Peace.